Hello, gamers, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent League here on the Cool Cat Gang channel, unsullied by corporate sponsorship since 2022. I am the AC Money alongside Troy of Athens for this group stage match between VGR and DannyGeffen, and both of them join us in the booth right now. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Starting with VGR, Troy and I were on commentary while you got a pretty exciting run last weekend, making it into the top 4 to participate in next weekend's Community Clash, I think was the name of it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, congratulations on that, and second, do you feel like you might have some momentum today?
Kinda. I finished one run today, and it was a 58-43. So hopefully I can get some.
That is just absolutely fantastic news, VGR. That is great.
And if I get that run, then I think my odds of winning are pretty high. I don't know about you, Danny.
Yeah, considering I haven't done a single 58 that isn't a PB yet, and I've had it for 11 months, that has pretty big odds then. Yeah.
Alright. Well, good luck anyway. I hope you play well, and that it's close, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, sure, keep pretending, buddy.
Well, but before we come to fisticuffs, I think maybe we should let you guys get to the game.
Sure.
Okay.
Right, two very talented individuals. I mean, you obviously have to be making it into the Any Percent League. What Danny is the lower seeded player here, technically having a PB of 58.5. What does he got to do to pull the upset here?
It's going to me? I mean,
That is
oh, they,
yes.
yeah, they left.
Yeah.
To pull the
Anyways.
upset, it's just gonna be playing consistently as it always is. It's just doing what you know how to do and making sure that you can do it.
Very true, and I mean, we have seen our fair share of, crazy things that can happen in a run. So,
Yeah.
certainly this is anyone's game. Make sure you stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. Two very strong players about to save Peach from the clutches of Bowser. And they are getting set up here, so we should be getting started any second now. Of course, they have their DSTAs locked in, so they are on a pretty similar delay pattern, and we are underway.
Yeah. I will say that there also are potentially some points in which VGR could have a bit of a meltdown. I mean, ICC, I know, it can take a few tries to get it right, and he has been going for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to when we were commentating. He had a 58-20, which was very impressive, but beyond that, I feel like at least when I was watching on Sunday, he had a low 59, which, I mean, may very well be good enough for Danny to sneak in and grab this one. But also, I feel like I was seeing a lot of other players, and I say this not to speak negatively of either of these players. I say this strictly to try to enhance the drama of the match. I feel like I was seeing a lot of other players be a little bit more consistent in getting deep into runs, so that either says that VGR is somebody who plays aggressively and resets aggressively, or somebody that might allow Danny to slip in with more consistent gameplay.
Fair point. I will say that it really is a different format than what we had over the weekend compared to back to the league now.
Oh, absolutely.
While it is the same game, the way of playing it almost can change things. Like with the mindset is different as well. Of like, you can't abandon a run.
Right. I mean, Danny would have immediately reset this. He just missed the left side.
Just
Oh,
deal
right.
with what you got. And so, like, it's in some ways an art, an LCA kind of factors out as you still need consistency, of course, but it's more of like in some ways it is less consistent. You don't need as much consistency because if you mess something up, you can just start over and do it and try again on it.
Exactly.
And you got so much time to keep doing that until you get it right. So
Certainly, players are bound to play more aggressively in that setting.
yeah, exactly. Which is also the case. I mean, like we saw pretty much everyone going for DSS, where here in the league we've got like 2 people who ever go for it out of the 12 people that are in here.
Right. We saw a 103 player attempt 2 DSS regularly, and that's not necessarily
16
something that
people. I know how to count, by the way. 16 people that are here.
Hey. I should mention, by the way, 2 very highly seeded players, VGR with a 3-0 record in the league thus far, DannyGeffen with a 2-1 record in the league. So both players with winning records, and as expected, both going to be going for the regular Dino Skip route.
Yep.
Both these players regular chest clip players. DannyGeffen 2 for 2, having not gone for it once, and
Yeah.
VGR 2 for 3.
Yeah, and I do want to talk a little bit about like what VGR had said about how they're practicing trying to get like more 57, like get 57s and like help their time. And in some ways, like they said they got a 57 during practice earlier, and like in some ways that makes me feel like they're trying to practice also for this weekend, because there are at least 2, like, you know, Tyrone and Mitch definitely are consistent at getting 57s. So those are people you want to consider when, like, that's who you're going to be facing. So you want to be able to get more consistent at getting 57s, so you actually are not completely out of the running, because 58s, I don't even know if that'll cut it this weekend.
It barely cut it last weekend. I think I saw a 57 late in the day, and I think the cutoff was like a 58-20 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure VGR, who is... There we go. Had a little bit of interesting maneuvering there with the chest clip.
Yeah. Forgive me if I don't know how consistent Lucid is with their 57s, but I actually typically don't end up watching them too as much as the other runners. So and also, like, he was gone for a while, and then he came back. It's like I didn't realize where his consistency was for a bit. So I don't know. He might also be capable of doing the 57s very frequently. It's just, I mean, he's definitely up there. He's, you know, 3rd on the leaderboard, so I'm sure he is capable of it. But I'm just not as knowledgeable of Lucid.
That certainly makes sense. And I mean, you have heavyweights like Chaos Springhold, Dansta, Tyrone, Mitch in that mix. Really, all 7 of them are very strong players, and like, we see all kinds of crazy stuff go down in lifetime attacks. We see world record players finish near the bottom just because they can't get a run going. So definitely anyone can win that LTA, and we do highly encourage you to check that out next weekend. Or I take that back, this upcoming weekend.
This weekend.
Yes, Community Clash Finals.
All right. Well, starting up here in Sand, VGR doing University. Danny, a little bit behind, as we have said, from some struggles in Cap Kingdom.
I'm almost wondering if VGR hit this DSTA. Okay, he did.
He did, yeah.
'Cause I just checked his PB splits, and he lost 10 seconds in Cascade Kingdom against his PB. But I guess the DSTA was forgiving enough, and Danny getting it as well. Heading up to the dune. Oh, Danny gonna get his bird first, doing the regular town route. And now both these players heading for Dram. Both are undefeated on Dram so far, and also on Platform Clip. So some very strong sand players here. Their PB split separated by just 2 seconds. VGR going for his reverse Jackson here. Looking clean and got it. DannyGeffen heading there as well, and you know, we talk more and more about players going for tricks like reverse Jackson. Obviously, you know, we've seen top players go for it for a long time, but more and more players going for reverse Jackson, more and more players going for stuff like DSS, ICC, just based on the natural evolution of this game.
Yeah, I mean, with platform clip route being part of it, like, it almost makes reverse Jaxi required just based on, like, the movement that is needed to get back to the platform. It just works out better, moon route-wise, to do it this way, and instead of trying to do standard Jaxi skip.
Oh no, DannyGeffen missing the platform clip. First time this season.
Yeah, that is the main way of messing it up, where the bullet bill just lines up right when you throw out your cappy, and it's like, oh, you want to capture something, right? No, I'm just shaking the I'm just shaking the remote. I'm just jumping.
Right. Well, the good news for him is he gets it on a second attempt, so he did lose a decent amount of time there. But all told, not a catastrophic time loss.
No, but it does widen the gap, definitely. Well,
If there is an opportunity for him to get back, it's coming up in Lake Clip. VGR 2 for 6 on Lake Clip this season, whereas Danny is a perfect 3 for 3.
Well, you see, part of that being that Lake Clip, the one we're used to, and triple jump Lake Clip are at the same trick on the sheet. So if you go for triple jump Lake Clip, your stats are going to be a little bit skewed because of this.
I see.
So if you fail it, you know that's a fail. You're going to do it again. It still is something to look into, definitely, but if you know that the person goes for triple jump Lake Clip and the other doesn't, it's kind of harder to read exactly what's going on there. And I don't think DannyGeffen goes for it typically, but where VGR does.
Well, we're about to find out. It looks like he's setting it up.
I don't think that works.
I don't believe so either. No, he's going to have to go for the standard route. But has a quick lineup and immediately makes the clip. Gets the upwards throw. That will show up in the stats as a 1 for 2, but that was a very, very clean 1 for 2. Danny also going for the triple jump. This would be a big opportunity, but he doesn't get it. Gonna have to line up for it. But he also gets it fairly quickly, thankfully.
And like I said, I didn't know for sure if it goes for it, but the idea of having a 100% consistency on triple jump Lake Clip just doesn't seem likely to me. So I just have to think that is like just something he's pulling out right now for the sake of going against VGR.
Right, and certainly we've seen players, you know, sink minutes away on Lake Clip in the past, so even with the old strategy at 3 for 3, very impressive.
I mean, it's been around for so long that a lot of players, especially at the top level, have gotten very used to that method of leg clip.
This is absolutely fair.
You know, DannyGeffen going for the cameraman strat for the to
And he
talk to
gets
the
it.
mermaid. Yeah, just saves a little bit of time. It's not very large. It's maybe a second or two. I'm not even sure.
But every little bit counts.
Yeah.
Especially like you need to start finding seconds somewhere. Especially going into Wooded, a kingdom that VGR has a significant edge in. Danny, you know, when you make up those little bits of time, they add up. Finding our way into the Wooded Kingdom now. Things going good in the early stages, but the meat and potatoes of this stage still to come, especially with Nut Clip and Out of Bounds. A miss on Out of Bounds could completely change the complexion of this race.
And I'll point out one of the problems. Oh, never mind. He is actually going for it today. DannyGeffen is going for tree route. I think it was DannyGeffen who was the one who typically wasn't going for.
Unfortunately, looks like we've lost Troy. We'll get him back in just a moment. In the meantime, DannyGeffen going for his Nut Clip here, which he has converted. However, he is 1 for 4 in the Out of Bounds movement.
My Discord crashed for a moment there. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Discord seems to be having some issues, and Danny getting some revenge after his most recent races, getting the Out of Bounds movement very cleanly.
But yeah, as I was saying, I believe DannyGeffen was the one who was of not doing tree route, and so it was hurting them because they were messing up Out of Bounds movement, and then they would be short on them because they didn't do tree route.
I see. VGR into the tower, Danny going for his flowerless, which he gets very cleanly. I'm having to reprogram my brain not to yell at people when they don't collect the checkpoint anymore, just because people are so consistent on that now.
People do still try to collect that checkpoint. It's just tough to like get the movement right because you typically don't have to think about doing it. And then to do it in races like this, like when you practice, you don't practice hitting that checkpoint.
Right, because even if you hit the checkpoint, if you die there, that's a reset.
Right.
VGR was practicing pipes when we were talking to him earlier, and he is 2 out of 3 on faster pipes so far this season. Things looking good. He is going to get it.
Yep, that was faster pipes. No attempt on doing the triple jump sewers cliff.
Not too surprising. He doesn't really need to hit the gas too hard here, as it looks like DannyGeffen is wobbling a little bit with the pipes. And able to save it. Well done to Danny.
Yep, still able to hit this the fast pipe cycle.
That is his first faster pipes this... Oh, fast.
That's not faster pipes,
Okay.
that is fast pipes.
Nice.
I sometimes say like 2 cycle and 1.5 cycle for faster.
Right.
Just to make it a little bit clearer to some people. Because from what I've seen, like that is roughly how much the fuzzies get in,
Right.
in the different routes. Is they get 2 cycles, whereas faster pipes they kind of get like a 1.5. They still get 1 and some change, but you know.
Right. Of note, VGR got the Cloud Boost and is also going to get the Hint Art, saving him from going out of his way in the Wooded Kingdom to get coins. Now, with the recent route change, obviously players now going into the Sphinx room with all those extra coins, how does that change the runner's coin routes, or does it change it at all?
If anything, it makes it less worrying because as long as you remember to get a hint art, which is what we saw. I saw someone by accident not getting hint arts over the weekend. As long as you remember to get a hint art in either Cloud or Metro, you're fine. Like that's. You don't even have to worry about coins with the platform flip route because there's so many coins in Sphinx room. There that often look you're at VGR's at 294 coins right here in Lost Kingdom. Any percent really doesn't worry about coins at this point with hint arts combined with the Sphinx room.
Fair enough.
And then also Jaxi Skip has that other chest that also has 50 coins right there that you get. So there's just so many places that are right there that are just one quick cap throw away of just so many coins.
Meanwhile, VGR motoring through the Lost Kingdom. Danny taking a fall. That is the first big mistake of this match. And that is going to take a while to get back up. You might almost want to think about taking a death here.
Somehow not wall grabbing. He's got to be very careful as to not hit that checkpoint right there, by the way, because the way that Lost works is you die at the end so that you potentially die at the end so you respawn
now he
back
just died.
at the Odyssey. And now he just dies, so he is going to respawn back at the Odyssey. And so this is going to set Danny pretty far back in Lost Kingdom.
This is probably like a minute lost now. He's got to find a way to get back up somehow. Although good game knowledge, knowing where to go, I think he's down a moon though.
Yes, he still has missed Butterfly Moon.
I don't know if he's realized that.
He might have not realized it, but I think honestly, he probably has. Because I think he's just going to end up doing Stone Cage and Metal Cage.
That would be my guess also.
The decision of not having to make the full, long route around back to the Butterfly Moon might be the better decision because you just come to this one area. You don't have to circle from Butterfly back to here.
And that is precisely what he does, getting the Stone Cage, and then go up to get the Metal Cage that he just shot the torpedo at. Meanwhile, VGR has entered Night Metro.
And yes, doing some very fun movement there where VGR doesn't even go on top of the building at first. He goes straight from that lower section right to Girder Sandwich. It does save a little bit of time, but it is a much trickier jump. Requires some... it requires some history that VGR has from their trick jumping. I actually did manage to jump in their chat for like at the right moment where they were practicing that trick, and they were like, "I can do this so easily because of my trick jump history."
Oh, nice. VGR in his Wiggler fight as Danny has fallen off of the awning there.
Yep, messed up on Sharana bounce climb off of an awning. Yeah, I was curious how VGR would react to me knowing that message. It's all in good fun.
Hoping to get this 2-cycle. He's already missed a few shots.
Look, we
Now
all have
has
some things.
there we go.
We all have things that we regret that we did when we were younger. So.
Was a little bit worried there about the Macro Wiggler on VGR's, and he had some. Ooh, and I was worried that Danny was about to bonk off the stage, but VGR had some shots he still needed to hit at the very top of the building, but thankfully able to get them pretty quickly and managing to clean up a pretty good 2-cycle. DannyGeffen just now heading into that fight. Going for the scoop clip now is VGR, and he is 4 for 4 on the season on that trip. Now for my favorite part of the run, the bench switch.
Favorite part of the run, when they sit still and do nothing.
You know, gotta be nice to the civilians of New Donk City. Danny, by the way, cleaning up a good 2-cycle Mech Wiggler. VGR now heading into the slot machine. VGR now heading into Bullet Building as DannyGeffen missing the dram, off to a bit of a rocky start to his day metro. Hopefully going to clean it up with a scoot clip here. Getting a little bit slower of a route. Meanwhile, VGR has fallen and going to have to go for the backup route on Bullet Building, which he gets.
DannyGeffen tried to go for the lag reduction of hitting as little trash as possible, but missed the ground pound, so had to kind of abandon that.
Danny successful on his slot machine. VGR successful on his long ground pound there. I don't know if that has a name or not.
I usually call it the called shot because depending on how early you do the ground pound, it's difficult. Of course, falling faster if you do the ground pound, but harder to aim it from higher up. And VGR messing up on the bouncy reverse people's room, going to be very tight on the time here. Is able to get that timer moon after messing up on reverse. So on the reverse route. So is going to have to. Doesn't really lose time on regular people's room, I don't think, but on reverse people's room rather. I don't even know what I'm saying. He lost time there.
Sure.
Yeah, unfortunate with the mess up, but was able to not lose time on regular people's room, I believe, is how it works.
Danny also made the same mistake VGR did, not able to get a bullet kill capture, ending up having to do the second half of building capture lists. Does lose a little bit of time. As we head into the Snow Kingdom now. VGR does go for ICC. He is 3 for 5 out of it this season. So that'll be a big decision coming whether he still decides to go for it with this lead.
I believe the actual name of that moon is something like Moon at the Cafe or something like that, by the way.
I'm gonna level with you. Not only do I not know any names of moons in this game, I don't know any names of moons in SM64 either, and I've actually run that game.
Left at the cafe, okay. Cypher, someone also giving an I think. This is very promising. Well, okay. VGR now going for the ICC route, as you see from the early shop buy.
Every time we get to a split path, I always root for somebody just deciding to troll the audience and go for the kingdoms out of order. I know that it's a viable strategy if you're low on coins, like if you've missed both hint hearts, to go to Seaside first to collect coins so that you have coins for the missed snow clip by VGR there, but able to back it up fairly quickly.
Yeah, it just barely missed too.
But
it
I have
almost
seen,
looked like it was gonna work.
And it is frustrating because you can never really tell until you either clip or you don't.
You can tell, but that one was like so close to being successful that I actually mistook it for being successful.
VG are going to accidentally blow off that last spiny, but we have seen people in the past go to Seaside to collect more coins because they don't have enough to buy the moon in the Snow Kingdom. Still, though, always entertaining when somebody does a kingdom out of order just to mess with the audience.
It's fair, but it also makes...
Oh, hello!
Makes stats much harder. And yes, we got DannyGeffen doing early shop, indicating...
Business is picking up!
Yeah, this is indicating an ICC. I mean, there is also the joke thing that this indicates that they're... and not going for Snowdram, but and doing Ranga Room, but that's not the case because I know DannyGeffen knows how to do Snowdram just fine.
Yeah, I mean he has missed it once this season, but he's still 3 out of 4. Well, moment of truth for VGR. Oh my! I thought I was doing a setup plus for a second.
Yeah,
and he gets it first try.
Nice. DannyGeffen does get Snow Clip on the other side.
That is really going to put the screws to DannyGeffen now. Though Danny having a very strong Snow Kingdom thus far. VGR just barely getting Snowdram. He's also missed Snowdram once this season.
I will make it clear, I did not say that DannyGeffen was consistent at Snowdram. I still won't say if he is or isn't. I simply said that he has gone for it, and he gets that he does go for it typically.
I simply just report the numbers that are in front of my screen.
Yeah, both of us are very good at not getting blamed for things.
Correct.
We have.
First of all, I
learned
don't
the
believe in
way-
commentators' jinx to begin with, and second,
I very much believe in it.
no, they cannot hear us. We do not have effect over these.
One of the runners is literally in the Discord call with us right now.
I don't know if he's listening or not. So, oh wait, I guess he is because he posted that thing about the comment you made.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have to say nicer things about VGR now. So, my source is reporting to me that VGR is incredibly handsome.
All right, well, DannyGeffen gonna be doing.
No,
Oh my god,
no
the
setup for it. Going
the
for it again,
setup
not
list
getting it.
attempts. What is this? No camera setups for the first 2 tries.
Throwing it at
And
the
they-
wall, finally getting it on the setup.
Getting
I
a
mean,
first try with setup makes you even question why he went for setup list in the first place.
He has to do something. I mean, he's down, what, like a minute, 2 minutes right now? You gotta do something. to
Definitely
get back
not
into
2
it.
minutes, but it is getting close to a minute. VGR messing up on this little hideaway hole here in Seaside.
Yeah,
what it's called
losing
right
like
now.
15 seconds in Gusher Room.
Gushin, thank you, the Gushin room.
I knew I knew the name of something that you didn't.
Listen, I just got off work a couple hours ago. Like, I'm still figuring. It's a Tuesday. Like,
Keep digging, buddy. Keep digging.
do you want me to keep thinking? It's a Tuesday. I woke up at 6 a.m. this morning. Do you
Say
want me
no
to
more,
keep
fam. VGR successfully flipping out of bounds on the chest and managing to stay out of bounds to collect that moon. Very strong performance out of him. He is 4 for 4 on that trip this season. And another potential divergence in DannyGeffen's usual route may be upcoming as he unfortunately takes a bonk there. He has not gone for Spiritless this season. However, he has just gone for ICC and gotten that on the stat sheet.
which is something he's never gone for this season either. So it definitely makes it seem like he might go for Spiritless.
VGR missing that moon, managing to stay out of bounds, I think.
No.
Oh, no, he's back in bounds.
Yeah, with the camera
And VGR's
change
gonna
there,
back this up.
yeah, with the camera, the way the camera changed so significantly, it did seem like it brought him back in bounds. I gotta remember the answer to this question. I won't tell you. I believe it is fourth.
They really ought to, like, randomize the order choices.
No. I would make this. I would make language change. Completely.
Exactly.
You
Be
want
honest. Who in chat can speak traditional Chinese?
none
I'm
of
guessing
us.
not many of you.
No one in this chat. I'm pretty sure. Hard to say, like, if we have some lurkers that are Chinese, but also the fact that I believe YouTube is banned in China. So, so unless you speak I mean, there are people, of course, who are
Oh yeah, of course.
raised to learn Chinese from a Chinese family or something in different countries, but you know.
I do love that Merci in Merci Dory, which is apparently the one moon name I know, gets capitalized, or not gets like the English letters as Danny missing fish clip here. I do not see that very often. Getting it second try. He manages to stay out of bounds, so he will pick up about 15-20 seconds on VGR, who is already on his Launching Kingdom.
Oh my
VGR
God, yeah.
missed Fewertless.
Yeah, he started to get very close to the arena during that Spewart skip, and that is just not going to work out. The triple jump, like, he vectored it too far.
Well, this is going to make stats very interesting for whoever commentates VGR races for the rest of the season.
And so this is going to be a case of Cypher. Cypher talking about it's going to be fun to watch. And part of that reason I feel might be that VGR hasn't done the non-spiritless route in a very long time, I would think. So, do they even know where to go? or do they even have the movement down? I mean, like the movement probably is much more rusty than their spiritless movement.
I should mention briefly, VGR was plus 20 on his PB out of snow. He's now plus 51. Having lost over 30 seconds to Seaside, potentially taking the first death of the match, able to save it provisionally, not going to get forkless.
During that, DannyGeffen did actually go for spiritless, by the way, because I did not hear an arena music from him.
That is, in fact, what has happened. He's going to get forkless, and all of a sudden, business has picked up. Both players diverging off of their usual route, one by force, one by choice. Oh, nice save there by Danny, only grabbing 4 of the 5 moons on the slot machine, able to get the 5th, though.
For a moment, I doubted that that Cappy was actually going to be able to catch the Photoboo there.
So they're both going to be in the forkless room at the same time, although Danny still has a little bit more work to do.
Yeah, and Danny does have the option here of going for the heart at the beginning of the fork room. Not going to do that. He's actually going to lose time to the moon collection here for the health regen that happens.
VGR with a nice Photoboo skip there. So I guess the question is, he definitely does remember this route.
Yeah, the only real concern I have, I guess, would be maybe, yeah, this area, in everything up until, like, the backside of, like, the secret moon in the backside of the rock wall. From there, the movement's pretty similar to spiritless. So, but between them, it's not quite the same.
How much time does spiritless save over the traditional spirit route?
It's like anywhere from like 5 to 15. It's difficult to like do it quickly always, so like that's why I give a range. I believe I've heard a lot of the time like just 8 seconds. So, but I'm gonna put it at 5 to 15. Just give it like put 8 in the middle of my range. It's the kind of way I'm doing it there.
That's fair. Well, Danny thankfully does have the coins to purchase this moon. VGR going to go on to his soup obstacle course. which he is going to get very easily. However, he does have to sit through a multi-moon cutscene here.
And DannyGeffen approaching what essentially is like probably the most difficult part of Spiritless is this Invisiblock jump. Once you get it down, it is not too bad from what I understand. He is going to be using the rainbow spin to get across, which is one of the slightly slower methods of doing Invisiblock jump.
However, only getting the single block hit, which is visually impressive.
Yes, although it was like on the left edge of that block, nearly missing it.
I almost pondered if he might accidentally go for the meat obstacle course until I realized that that is literally not an option.
And messing up on capturing the photo booth on the start of this side section.
By the way, in watching VGR go for Spirit Route, which we didn't watch many Spirit Routes over the weekend during the Community Clash, I forgot that they have the sun setting in the Luncheon Kingdom. So no excuses, Nintendo, if it's not in Sunset Wilds.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Which reminds me, the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent League is brought to you by Sunset Wilds. Sunset Wilds coming out in like 2 hours, and Nintendo, you better not screw it up.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Mario Kart Booster Course.
Oh, okay. I don't play Mario Kart.
Oh, you should.
Well, I do say that this race of Super Mario Odyssey is brought to you by this duck. Thank you, duck.
As a reminder, if you want us to soullessly shill your corporation or charitable organization or something in between, give Saren money and we'll do it.
Yes, also like and subscribe.
Yes. And follow these runners. Look, it's the dragon fight. What do you want us to say?
You want the duck to quack again? I can make
Yes.
the duck quack again.
Thank you, Duck.
You're welcome.
I said thank you to the duck, not
Oh
to
yes,
you.
yeah, I am not the duck. My mistake.
Three hits down for VGR. If nothing else, him and DannyGeffen on this fight at the same time, so decently close together. As the, oh god, I forget the name of these Toast Arena guys are jamming out in the background.
Yes, this is the best slide of the backgrounds. This is probably the best background because you just got you just got those NPCs just jamming over there. This is just big chilling with their jams. Meanwhile,
favorite-
here you kind of got like it didn't even look like they want to be filmed.
My favorite's the taxi. It shows up every 28 seconds and it's great.
Mm.
Still waiting for the day that we get that synced to whatever the current kingdom is, but and not a necessary change by any stretch.
I got very concerned there for a moment that Danny got onto the dragon way too early and was gonna end up dying, the dragon taking 2 damage to him. But
That would have been game over.
yes.
For what it's worth, he is clawing his way back into this match. He had a very impressive spirit skip. VGR lost over a minute in Seaside and Luncheon Kingdom against his PB. But Danny's still finding himself about a minute behind. That could be a mech fall. That could be an Invisawall in Moon Kingdom. I mean, there's so much in this late game. we saw just on Sunday 3 runners get Invisawalled in pillars. So like
In the same hour.
in this, and yeah, I mean, 2 of them lost lifetime PBs to that. So like,
Yeah.
it absolutely does happen.
That was unreal when that happened. I was so confused. I was so taken aback by it happening that that often. Just in quick succession. Just like, oh, there's
Right.
one. Oh, what? There's another one. And then suddenly a third. And you're just like, the world just didn't want those people to get TBs at that moment. It's just like,
Well, you certainly feel bad for them, although VGR showing no signs of slowing down with a spectacular delayed birdless. They just getting that triple jump off.
oh, DannyGeffen not spending enough time underneath the ogre to trigger the attack. Just a minor time loss there.
VGR going to go for Harriet first. Looking to set up the Star Bomba. Which is precisely what he has done. Oh, and I thought for a second he was going to hit the Star Bomba bomb. As Harriet spawned very close to it, but thankfully for VGR, he is able to avert that. As it looks like Danny also going to go for birdless, but just can't quite get it.
Yeah,
Tokyo,
kind of
by the way,
bailed on the bailed on the movement for birdless partway through.
It occurred to me while I was laying in bed Sunday night that this bird's name is Pokio, after completely forgetting it during the broadcast on Sunday.
Yes, they're called Pokios.
Really spectacular topper fight there by VGR. Gaining an interesting bonk, and I think he's not going to get Dram here. Oh, he did get it.
Yeah, that does work out. It's just an awkward camera angle. Or at least one that's awkward from my perspective. Perhaps they're used to it, but I haven't seen that very often. If at all. I don't recall the last time I've seen a Bowser Dram like that.
4 for 4 on Bowser Jr. for Danny this season. And it looks like he's going to be heading to 4 for 4 on Star Bomba. Oh no!
Hits Star Bomba the wrong way. And now hitting the second.
Oh, but
Bomba
VGR died!
away.
VGR died!
Yeah, VGR gonna die to I think that was pipeless.
Hold everything. This match suddenly taking some crazy twists and turns.
And messing up on Furriot already on Danny's side, so Harriet kept jumping. That is a really slow Harriet. But
Yeah, Danny not able to capitalize on his stroke of luck with VGR taking a death there. That is the first death of this match. No, I'm sorry. Danny took a death and lost.
yeah.
First death for VGR anyway, who had only taken 2 deaths in those 3 prior matches. Hitting topper acquired. Another name of a trick I just remembered. Although it is literally sitting here on my screen.
Well, good job reading.
Thank you. Managing to get target acquired also. 4 perfect mechs out of VGR in 4 matches this season. Danny does not usually go for pipeless. I take that back, he does usually go for pipeless. And managing to get it, although taking a bomb.
Oh,
and
the
now he's gonna
chaos
take a
dive!
death. What is happening?
Forgive me, that wasn't a chaos dive. That's I forget the other type. It doesn't happen a lot. Chaos dives happen more often, honestly. But yes, awkward camera angles is what that ended up happening there for why that dive went in such an odd direction. Yes, value dives. Thank you. That was a value dive. So that is the 3rd death of the race. Essentially dying in a very similar place to where VGR did the moment before.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Danny just not able to capitalize on VGR's mistakes today. At least having a clean mech so far, so mitigating the damage a little bit.
Oh, missing target acquired, falling off of the mech on DannyGeffen's side.
You know, I said I don't believe in commentator jinxes, but I knew as soon as I said that, I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna fall off mech, isn't he?
He ends up falling, and it ends up being the case. Now, capturing the Pokio to make the climb up here to get the final hit on Mecha Brutal.
I mean, that could have been much worse. But
it was still pretty bad. Like,
it was still pretty bad, yes.
At this level, you don't expect falling off the mech at all. So you really don't just falling off the mech period is just bad. Like, you don't really think of considered worse. It's just like either you stay on the mech or it's a bad mech. Like, that's it.
Right. VGR heading into the final Bowser fight after getting a successful one-wall moonskip. That is good news for him, as he had failed it twice so far in the league.
Mm-hmm. And I will recognize that you were trying to find the silver lining there, but it's hard to find. To be honest.
Danny, the window was definitely open for Danny. That window, pretty much barring a pillar's death, has been slammed shut.
Mm-hmm.
This point is very much VGR against himself, and with a win here, VGR would go to a perfect 4-0, matching Buster Doggy in Group A. Right now, the Group B standings showing VGR at 3-0, Danced at 3-2, as just based off of time zone and availability, some players have played more matches than others.
Mm-hmm.
Danny currently sitting at 2-1, potentially going down to 2-2, which would tie him with G-Man right on the bubble. So one of those two players would be on one side. Odyssey Guy also at 2-1 presently. Light Rom Pahulu at we had this conversation yesterday on Sunday. Pajulu sitting at 2-3, and Tyler Tech at 0-4. So realistically, all 7 of those players mathematically still in. And I would think, with 5 players at 2 wins and with only a couple of matches to go left in the group stage, it could certainly go a lot of different ways. So DannyGeffen by no means out of the playoffs, especially taking a loss to the top-ranked player in Group B.
DannyGeffen with the single wall jump moon cave skip.
Narrowly getting onto the bridge. VGR keeping his foot on the gas.
First try!
Gonna slam the door shut with the first try 2DSS.
There was zero mistakes in that 2DSS from VGR. Just being able to pull it out completely, not falling once. And meanwhile, DannyGeffen messing up on fast stats.
Just compounding errors for Danny right now. VGR going to go off into the sunset here. It's going to be a low 59, so it's not going to be his second 48 of the season.
58.
But that's what I meant.
Yep.
It will be a very good time for the league. A very low 59. GG's to VGR, who actually, after all that, does improve his league average time. And after all that, VGR just noted that he just threw a golden pillars.
That is the speedrun mindset right there.
I mean, after all that, to have such a strong Moon Kingdom, doing basically nothing but, you know, padding your own stats. Looks like we're having a Discord moment, but we have the streams back. Danny trying to make his way through Honeymoon Ridge, and he just took a death.
Yeah, people, I believe it was you who talked about how close to the edge some players like to play on these blocks, and it actually punishing DannyGeffen completely by ending up.
I think it was in,
Yeah.
because I think I remember him making that comment.
Yeah, Danny not even caring at this point, just jumping on all sorts of places that you just
I don't
wanna do.
blame him. For the record, there's not like a point system here.
No.
You're only tracking wins and losses. I imagine like
Yes.
best overall run might be a tiebreaker or head-to-head or something, as Danny might as well go for 2DSS here. Trying to give a show for the fans. Not going to get it.
Yes, the one and done choice there.
Zypher suggested that might be a league best moon, and I'm checking right now. It was...
I don't think it is, because Dan had a really good moon at one point.
Yeah, Danstad has a 456 moon.
Yeah. Yes.
Looks like we are joined early in the booth by VGR, who is going to join us for DannyGeffen's Pillars. VGR,
I was dragged in early, so I thought I was welcome to talk.
Hey, join us.
Alright.
You're very welcome to. Congratulations on the win. Looked a little scary there, and as Danny gonna go for reverse pillars here. Not something you see every day. Looked a little scary there in the middle game, but able to reel it back in with a very strong Moon Kingdom.
Yeah, with the exception of like Gay Metro, Seaside Luncheon, and Mech, I'm pretty happy with how like everything else went.
By the way, DannyGeffen pulling out the counterclockwise pillars room, completely messing up my orientation of that room. I was like, what is happening in the moment?
Well, now I know why Pillars does the order it does. The way height on the pillars and platform works, I guess.
And immediately turning off the console as Danny finishes up a 102. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him in just a bit. But you had a little boo-boo there in luncheon where you end up in the Spewart section. How often do you practice the Spewart route?
Never.
Was it just
Okay,
like basic
reason
instinct
why
that you were able... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that and the other reason why I didn't do too bad on the regular spirit route was because about 2.5 weeks ago I attempted a damageless run where you can't do spiritless because it relies on damage boosting to be faster.
I see.
And I mean, I still managed to mess it up, especially with forkless, but that's something in spiritless anyway. So
Well, it certainly worked out to your benefit. You really kept your foot on the gas there. I think you were listening in to us based on you.
I always do.
That's certainly fair. But I mean, you obviously realized you had a big lead over Danny, and you went for 2DSS anyway. Just doing it for the fans.
That and also because I have the mindset to where if I don't do it every time, I'm not going to be as consistent. And in the scenario where I'm on PB pace and I want to do it to get those extra seconds, I might not get it as often as if I did it in races like this.
Certainly makes sense. Well, moving to 4-0 on the season. At this point, I'm not sure if it's mathematically certain, but I would think it's pretty certain that you will be heading into the playoffs. How do you like your chances?
I like them. I think the only person who I'm really afraid of beating me, like overall, is Buster, because he's already put out a 57, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's also 4-0 over in Group A, and that would, if you both stay in the 1 seed, that would be a matchup that could only happen in the finals, and that would be a thriller for sure.
Yeah, he'd probably beat me, but I'd do my best.
Troy, any questions for VGR?
I mean, I think you covered most of them.
That's fair. I do want to make sure I give you the opportunity to talk.
Of course.
I don't want to hog the spotlight as much as I like the sound of my own voice.
I'd like to point out how convenient it was that my internet died 30 seconds after I finished the run.
Wow.
So
that would have been catastrophic.
That wasn't VGR cutting his stream short. That was the internet cutting his stream short.
Yeah.
Well, we are glad that you were able to finish the run, and you even improved your average time with that run. So congratulations on your low 59 and the win here this evening, and best of luck going forward into the playoffs.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you as well. Troy, always a pleasure getting to commentate with you. Glad we got to do it on a weeknight for a change.
Yeah, it's great. And, it's good to have you in a commentary for the season, now that you remembered that the season existed.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that were unaware, I was away for work for a week, incidentally also doing commentary. I was doing commentary part-time for a sports organization called the World Ninja League, and they recently hired me on full-time, obviously not to just do commentary, but I was there for their big World Championship event for a week, and I knew Sarah was going to bug me for commentary when I was working, 16-hour days and barely sleeping, and I'm like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
so I turned off notifications just so that I could focus on the event, and then
you turning off notifications right now as we're being told to not go into a giant story.
For Troy of Athens, I'm the AC Money. Stay tuned for Super Mario 64 coverage here on the Cool Cat Gang, and be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for more Any% Pro League matches. Have a good one, everybody.